Speak, ladies and gentlemen. Every person dreams of success. We imagine the applause, the promotion, the financial freedom, the recognition, and the life we pose they've always wanted. But hirapos, the truth most people never realize, the people who achieve extraordinary things are rarely obsessed with the finish line. They are obsessed with what it takes to get there. Results are unpredictable. You canapos fully control when success arrives, how people respond, or how quickly your efforts pay off. But you can control how you show up today. You can control your discipline, your focus, your attitude, and your commitment to improving every single day. Too many people quit because they are constantly checking for results. They plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. When growth isn't immediate, they assume they are failing. But success has never worked that way. Every meaningful achievement is built on thousands of invisible moments, early mornings, difficult decisions, repeated practice, and relentless consistency. The work is where transformation happens. Every challenge teaches resilience. Every failure builds wisdom. Every small improvement shapes the person capable of handling greater responsibility. If your happiness depends only on reaching the destination, you will spend most of your life frustrated. But if you learn to love the process, every day becomes meaningful because every day is progress. The greatest competitors, creators, entrepreneurs, and leaders Donapos wake up asking quat, will I win today? Quote. They wake up asking quat, how can I become better today? Quote, that single shift changes everything. Excellence is never an accident, Itapos, the natural outcome of falling in love with the daily habits that create greatness. Stop chasing motivation. Build discipline. Stop measuring your worth by immediate outcomes. Measure it by your willingness to keep showing up when no one is watching. Because one day, people will admire your success without ever seeing the years of quiet effort that made it possible. Success is napos, something you chase. Itapos, something you earn through the work you choose to do every day. So become obsessed with the work. Master the process. Trust that if you consistently become better, the results will eventually have no choice but to follow. Most people believe success is found at the finish line. They think happiness begins when they finally reach the goal, earn the promotion, build the business, lose the weight, or achieve the dream the appos have been chasing. But that mindset creates a dangerous cycle because if your joy depends only on the result, you will spend most of your life feeling like you are not enough. The truth is that extraordinary people donapos become successful because they are obsessed with winning. They become successful because they learn to fall in love with the daily process that makes winning inevitable. Every meaningful achievement is built one ordinary day at a time. Itapos, built in the quiet mornings when you choose to get up before anyone else. Itapos, built when you keep practicing after everyone else has stopped. Itapos, built when you decide to improve by 1% instead of looking for a shortcut. The process may not look exciting from the outside, but it is where every champion, every leader, and every person of lasting influence is truly formed. The process teaches lessons that success never can. Results can disappear overnight, but the discipline you build through consistent effort stays with you forever. When you commit to the work itself, every day becomes an opportunity to grow. Even difficult days have value because they strengthen your patience, sharpen your character, and remind you that growth is napos, always comfortable. The process transforms you long before the results become visible to everyone else. Many people quit because they mistake slow progress for failure. They expect immediate rewards and become discouraged when life does napos, move according to their timeline. But nature does napos, rush. Speak. A seed spends a long time growing beneath the surface before anyone sees the first sign of life. The same principle applies to your dreams. Your efforts are often creating progress that cannot yet be measured. Just because you can't see the change doesn't mean the change isn't happening. When you love the daily process, setbacks no longer feel like the end of the journey. They become part of the education. Every mistake becomes feedback. Every obstacle becomes another opportunity to improve your skills, adjust your approach, and continue moving forward. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what is this teaching me? That single question changes your entire perspective because it shifts your attention from frustration to growth. Falling in love with the process also removes the constant pressure of comparison. You stop worrying about how quickly someone else is succeeding because your focus is no longer on their results. Your focus is on becoming better than you were yesterday. You understand that everyone has a different timeline, a different starting point, and different challenges. The only competition that truly matters is the one between the person you were yesterday and the person you choose to become today. The beautiful thing about loving the process is that it gives you control. You cannot always control the economy, other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, or the timing of opportunities, but you can always control your preparation. You can choose to show up with excellence, consistency, and integrity every single day. That commitment builds confidence because confidence isn't created by applause. It is created by keeping the promises you make to yourself. Eventually, the results will come. They may arrive slower than you expected or in ways you never imagined, but they will come. And when they do, you'll realize the greatest reward was never the achievement itself. It was becoming someone who could earn it through patience, discipline, and unwavering commitment to the work. That's why the process is never something to endure until success arrives. The process is the success because it is shaping the person capable of achieving and sustaining greatness. Motivation feels powerful because it gives you energy, excitement, and confidence. It convinces you that today is the day you'll finally change your life. You make plans, set ambitious goals, and imagine a better future. But motivation has one major weakness. It is temporary. It comes and goes with your emotions, your circumstances, and even the weather. Some mornings you wake up inspired and ready to conquer the world. Other mornings you feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. If your progress depends only on motivation, your success will always be inconsistent. That is why discipline matters far more. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It simply reminds you of what you committed to becoming. The people who achieve extraordinary things are rarely driven by constant inspiration. They don't wait for the perfect mood before they begin. They understand that greatness is built through repetition, not emotion. They show up on the days they feel confident, and they show up on the days they feel completely unmotivated. They understand that every day of consistent effort strengthens the foundation of future success. Their secret is not that they always want to do the work. Their secret is that they do the work whether they want to or not. Think about the habits that shape a meaningful life. Exercising regularly, reading every day, practicing a skill, building a business, saving money, or strengthening relationships all require consistency. None of these habits become successful because of occasional bursts of enthusiasm. They become powerful because they are repeated over and over again, especially when the excitement has faded. Discipline turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes by refusing to let temporary emotions control permanent decisions. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that successful individuals simply have more motivation than everyone else. In reality, they often experience the same doubts, fears, frustrations, and moments of exhaustion. The difference is that they have trained themselves to keep moving despite those feelings. They understand that emotions are temporary, but commitments should be lasting. Instead of asking themselves, "Do I feel like doing this today?" they ask, "Does this move me closer to the person I want to become?" That simple shift in thinking changes everything. Discipline also builds self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your confidence. Every time you follow through on your commitments despite discomfort, you prove that your words have value. Over time, you stop depending on external encouragement because your confidence comes from your own actions. You begin trusting yourself because you've repeatedly demonstrated that you can do difficult things even when no one is watching. There will always be reasons to quit. Life will become busy. Problems will appear unexpectedly. Progress will sometimes feel invisible. Motivation may disappear for days or even weeks. But discipline becomes the bridge that carries you through those difficult seasons. It reminds you that your future is determined not by occasional moments of inspiration, but by consistent daily choices. Every disciplined action becomes another vote for the person you are becoming. The remarkable thing about discipline is that it eventually creates the very motivation you were waiting for. As you begin seeing small improvements, your confidence grows. As your skills develop, your enthusiasm returns. As your habits become part of your identity, what once felt difficult starts feeling natural. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. Instead of waiting to feel motivated before acting, disciplined people act first, knowing that motivation often follows consistent effort. In the end, motivation may help you start the journey, but discipline is what ensures you finish it. It keeps you moving when excitement fades, when progress is slow, and when challenges seem overwhelming. It transforms dreams into routines, routines into habits, and habits into a life defined by purpose, resilience, and lasting achievement. The people who succeed are not the ones who are motivated every day. They are the ones who remain disciplined every day, regardless of how they feel. Many people underestimate the power of small improvements because they are searching for dramatic change. They believe success comes from one big opportunity, one breakthrough moment, or one life-changing decision. They wait for the perfect time to transform everything at once. But real success rarely happens that way. The greatest achievements are usually the result of hundreds of small choices made consistently over time. Every meaningful accomplishment begins with a single step, followed by another and then another. What looks like an overnight success is almost always the result of years of quiet, consistent progress that no one noticed. Imagine trying to move a mountain with one giant push. It seems impossible, but if you remove one small stone every day, eventually the mountain begins to change. Life works in much the same way. Reading 10 pages a day may not seem impressive, but over a year, you've completed dozens of books and gained knowledge that changes the way you think. Exercising for 30 minutes may not transform your body in a week, but after months of consistency, your strength, energy, and confidence become completely different. Saving a small amount of money every month may seem insignificant at first, but over time, it creates financial stability and freedom. Small actions may feel invisible in the moment, but they become undeniable when compounded over time. One of the biggest reasons people quit is because they expect immediate results. They judge today's effort by today's outcome instead of understanding that growth is cumulative. They plant seeds and become discouraged because they don't see fruit the next morning. But nature teaches us that every season has its purpose. Before a tree grows upward, it spends months developing roots beneath the surface. Those roots remain hidden, yet they determine the tree's future strength. In the same way, your daily habits are creating roots that support the success you have not yet seen. Every small improvement also changes your identity. When you choose to wake up early, you become someone who values discipline. When you choose to practice instead of procrastinate, you become someone who honors commitment. When you choose learning over comfort, you become someone who embraces growth. These choices may appear ordinary, but together they shape the kind of person you become. Success is not simply about what you achieve, it is about the character you build through repeated actions. Small improvements also reduce the fear of starting. Many dreams feel overwhelming because people focus on the size of the goal instead of the next step. Writing a book seems impossible until you decide to write one page today. Running a marathon feels intimidating until you commit to a short walk. Building a successful business feels overwhelming until you make your first phone call or serve your first customer. Progress begins the moment you stop trying to accomplish everything at once and focus on doing one meaningful thing well. Consistency gives small actions extraordinary power. Anyone can work hard for a day or a week. The challenge is continuing when the excitement fades and the results remain invisible. Those who keep improving, even by the smallest amount, separate themselves from those who constantly start over. They understand that excellence is not built through occasional perfection, but through daily commitment. Every small effort becomes another brick in the foundation of a remarkable life. There will be moments when your progress feels too slow to matter. You may wonder whether your efforts are making any difference at all. During those moments, remember that the greatest transformations happen gradually. Water can carve through solid rock not because of its force in a single moment, but because of its persistence over time. Your consistent actions work the same way. They reshape your skills, your mindset, your confidence, and your future one day at a time. Never underestimate what one small improvement can become. A single habit repeated faithfully has the power to change your career, your relationships, your health, and your purpose. The results may not appear immediately, but every disciplined choice is preparing you for opportunities you cannot yet see. Massive success is rarely created by massive actions. More often, it is created by ordinary people who choose to become just a little better every single day until those small improvements produce extraordinary results. One of the biggest obstacles to lasting success is the habit of measuring your progress by immediate results. We live in a world that celebrates instant gratification. We expect fast deliveries, quick answers, and overnight success stories. Because of that, many people begin to believe that if they don't see immediate progress, then their efforts must not be working. They start a new habit, work hard for a few days or weeks, and then become discouraged because the outcome doesn't match their expectations. What they fail to realize is that the most valuable growth happens long before it becomes visible. Every worthwhile goal requires patience. Whether you are building a business, improving your health, learning a new skill, or strengthening your character, the early stages often feel slow and unrewarding. You may put in hours of effort without seeing noticeable change. That can be frustrating, especially when you're giving your best. But progress is not always obvious. Just because you cannot measure it today does not mean it isn't happening. Many of the greatest transformations take place beneath the surface before they ever appear on the outside. Think about a farmer planting seeds in a field. After planting, the soil looks exactly the same for days or even weeks. If the farmer judged success by what could be seen immediately, there would be no reason to continue watering the field. Yet the farmer understands that unseen growth is still real growth. Beneath the surface, roots are forming, life is developing, and the foundation for a healthy harvest is being built. Your dreams work the same way. Every disciplined action, every lesson learned, and every challenge overcome is strengthening roots that will eventually support visible success. When you focus only on immediate results, you become emotionally controlled by short-term outcomes. A bad day convinces you that you're failing. A single mistake makes you question your abilities. One setback causes you to abandon months of consistent effort. But success has never been determined by one day or one moment. It is determined by the direction you continue moving, even when progress seems invisible. The people who accomplish extraordinary things understand that temporary setbacks are simply part of a much larger journey. Learning to trust the process requires a different way of thinking. Instead of asking, "What have I achieved today?" ask, "Who am I becoming through today's effort?" That question shifts your attention away from instant rewards and toward lasting transformation. Every workout strengthens your discipline, even if the scale doesn't change. Every hour of study increases your knowledge, even if you haven't mastered the subject yet. Every difficult conversation improves your communication skills, even if the outcome isn't perfect. Growth is happening, even when the evidence hasn't caught up. Another danger of chasing immediate results is that it encourages shortcuts. When people become impatient, they begin looking for easier paths, faster solutions, and temporary fixes. They sacrifice quality for speed and consistency for convenience. While shortcuts may offer quick satisfaction, they rarely produce lasting success. Strong foundations are never built in a hurry. The most respected leaders, skilled professionals, and successful entrepreneurs all invested years of unseen effort before their achievements became visible to others. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active persistence. It is choosing to continue showing up with excellence even when the rewards have not yet arrived. It is believing that today's effort has value, even if today's results are small. Every meaningful accomplishment is built one disciplined day at a time, and every day you refuse to quit adds another layer of strength to your future. The truth is that success often arrives quietly before it becomes obvious. Your confidence grows before your circumstances change. Your habits improve before your achievements multiply. Your mindset becomes stronger before opportunities begin to appear. These invisible victories are just as important as the visible ones because they prepare you to handle greater responsibility when success finally comes. Stop measuring your life by what you can see today. Measure it by your commitment to keep moving forward, your willingness to learn, and your determination to improve. Results will come in their own time, but the person you become while waiting is the greatest achievement of all. Speak. You learn to value consistent effort. More than immediate rewards, you free yourself from frustration and discover the kind of perseverance that turns ordinary dreams into extraordinary realities. Every challenge you face has the potential to become one of your greatest teachers. Yet most people spend their lives trying to avoid difficulty, believing that an easy path is the best path. They see obstacles as interruptions, setbacks as failures, and hardship as something that shouldn't happen to them. But if you study the lives of people who achieve lasting success, Euapos will discover a very different perspective. They Donopos see challenges as enemies. They see them as training. They understand that every obstacle is preparing them for responsibilities they are not yet ready to carry. The struggle is not standing in the way of their growth. It is the way they grow. Think about an athlete preparing for a championship. No coach would prepare a competitor by making every workout comfortable. Muscles become stronger because they are challenged. Endurance develops because the body is pushed beyond its comfort zone. Skill improves because mistakes are repeated, corrected, and practiced again. The same principle applies to every area of life. Your character becomes stronger only when it is tested. Your patience grows when circumstances Donopos go your way. Your resilience is built when you choose to stand back up after being knocked down. Challenges have a unique way of revealing who you truly are. Etapos, easy to remain positive when everything is working in your favor. Etapos, easy to stay committed when progress comes quickly. But when the results are delayed, when people doubt you, when plans fall apart, and when life becomes difficult, your true character begins to emerge. Those moments expose your habits, your mindset, and your willingness to continue moving forward despite uncertainty. Instead of asking whether life is being fair, successful people ask what this experience is teaching them. Every setback carries a lesson that success alone cannot provide. Failure teaches humility. Rejection teaches persistence. Disappointment teaches patience. Mistakes teach wisdom. Without these experiences, success often creates pride instead of maturity. Challenges shape qualities that cannot be learned through comfort. They force you to adapt, think creatively, become emotionally stronger, and develop solutions you would never have discovered if everything had been easy. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that difficult seasons mean they are on the wrong path. In reality, challenges often appear because you are growing. Every new level of responsibility demands a higher level of character. Every greater opportunity requires greater preparation. Before life entrusts you with more influence, more success, or more leadership, it often tests whether you have developed the discipline and resilience needed to handle it. What feels like a delay may actually be preparation for something greater than you imagined. Challenges also teach you to depend less on perfect circumstances and more on consistent effort. You begin to realize that confidence is not built by avoiding problems, but by overcoming them. Every obstacle you face and survive becomes evidence that you are stronger than your fears. Every difficult conversation you have, every failure you recover from, and every disappointment you endure increases your belief that you can handle whatever comes next. That confidence cannot be borrowed from books or motivational speeches. It is earned through experience. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not those who have faced the fewest problems. More often, they are the ones who refuse to let problems define them. They chose to learn instead of complain. They adapted instead of giving up. They understood that every difficult season was adding another layer of strength, wisdom, and resilience to their lives. Speak. While others saw obstacles as reasons to quit, they saw them as opportunities to become better. Life will never promise a journey without resistance. There will always be unexpected setbacks, painful losses, moments of uncertainty, and seasons when nothing seems to go according to plan. But every one of those moments is shaping you into someone more capable than you were before. The pressure is refining your character, the struggle is expanding your capacity, and the challenge is preparing you for opportunities that require a stronger version of yourself. Instead of wishing for an easier path, embrace the training. One day, you'll look back and realize that the hardest moments were not sent to break you. They were preparing you to become the person capable of achieving everything you once believed was impossible. Your identity is not built by what you say you want. It is built by what you repeatedly choose to do. Many people spend years talking about the person they hope to become, but very few are willing to embrace the daily work required to become that person. Dreams are important because they give you direction, but dreams alone cannot shape your character. It is your habits, your discipline, your decisions, and your actions that quietly create your identity. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are becoming someone. The question is not whether your identity is changing. The question is whether your daily actions are shaping the person you truly want to become. People often believe that identity changes after success arrives. They think, once I become successful, I'll be confident. Once I achieve my goals, I'll become disciplined. Once I make more money, I'll think differently. But life works in the opposite direction. You must first become the kind of person who lives with discipline, integrity, and purpose before lasting success can follow. Your identity is the foundation upon which every achievement is built. Without the right foundation, even the greatest opportunities can quickly disappear. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose to wake up early, instead of pressing the snooze button, you are becoming someone who values discipline. When you keep your promises even when no one is watching, you are becoming someone people can trust. When you continue working after others have quit, you are becoming resilient. These choices may seem small in the moment, but they are shaping your character one decision at a time. Identity is never created in one dramatic event. It is formed through thousands of ordinary moments that most people overlook. The work itself transforms you far more than the reward ever could. Long before people recognize your achievements, the daily effort is teaching you patience, consistency, humility, and perseverance. Every challenge forces you to grow stronger. Every failure teaches you something valuable about yourself. Every setback develops wisdom that success alone could never provide. By the time the results become visible, you are no longer the same person who started the journey. The greatest transformation happened within you, not around you. One reason many people struggle to stay consistent is because they focus only on external rewards. They exercise to lose weight, study to pass an exam, or work hard only for a promotion. While those goals are valuable, they are temporary sources of motivation. A much stronger reason to keep going is knowing that every action reinforces the kind of person you want to become. You don't exercise simply to change your body. You exercise because you're becoming someone who values health and discipline. You don't read books simply to finish them. You read because you are becoming a lifelong learner. When your actions are connected to your identity instead of just your goals, consistency becomes much easier. Your identity also determines your standards. People naturally act in ways that match how they see themselves. If you believe you are someone who gives up easily, you'll find reasons to quit when life becomes difficult. If you believe you are someone who always grows through adversity, you'll keep moving forward despite obstacles. The stories you tell yourself about who you are influence every decision you make. That is why protecting your identity is so important. Build it on principles, not temporary emotions. Build it on discipline, not convenience. Build it on purpose, not popularity. There will be days when the work feels repetitive and exhausting. You may wonder if your efforts are making any difference. During those moments, remember that every repetition is strengthening your identity. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who finishes what they start. Every time you refuse to compromise your values, you strengthen your integrity. These invisible victories become part of who you are, even before they produce visible success. In the end, people will admire your achievements, but those achievements are only the reflection of the person you became through years of dedicated work. The awards, recognition, and accomplishments may capture attention, but your true success lies in the character that was forged during the journey. The work shapes your mindset, strengthens your values, and transforms your habits until excellence is no longer something you occasionally achieve. It becomes part of your identity. When you commit yourself to the process every single day, you are not simply building success. You are building the person capable of creating it again and again, no matter what challenges life brings. The truth is, the results you've been chasing are only the byproduct of the person you're becoming. Trophies fade, applause grows quiet, and milestones eventually become memories. But the discipline you build, the character you develop, and the habits you create stay with you for a lifetime. So stop waiting for success to give your life meaning. Let the work become your purpose. Show up when it's hard. Keep improving when no one is watching. Trust the process when progress feels invisible. Every early morning, every difficult decision, every small step forward is shaping a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of you. Don't become obsessed with proving yourself to the world. Become obsessed with becoming better than you were yesterday. Because when you commit to the work instead of the outcome, you remove fear, you silence doubt, and you unlock a level of consistency that most people never experience. One day, the results will arrive. People will see the success, the confidence, and the achievements. but they won't see the countless hours of quiet effort that made them possible. And that's okay, because by then, you'll understand something that few people ever do. The greatest reward was never the destination, it was the person you became along the way. So leave today with one commitment. Stop chasing instant results and start mastering the daily process. Fall in love with the work, embrace the challenges, stay disciplined when motivation fades. Improve a little every day, build your identity through consistent action, because in the end, success doesn't belong to the most talented, it belongs to those who keep showing up, keep growing, and keep working long after everyone else has given up. Get obsessed with the work, not the results. The results will eventually follow, but the person you become through the work will be your greatest achievement. Thank you.